I have been wanting to do this project for such a long time, and I'm finally gonna do it. Here's the thing. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you probably have realized that I have a lot of yarn. A lot of yarn. More yarn than somebody needs. But my problem is every single time I want to do a project, I never have the yarn that I need for said project. Even if it's just like one color that I only need a little bit of it, I will go out and buy that one color. And then I have a whole skein of yarn that I don't know what to do with. Well, this project, I'm going to do my best to use all of them. I really wanted to do one of those yarn crochet advent calendars, but you gotta order them early, and I didn't do that. Part of me was kind of thinking, well, what if I go out and I buy like little tiny skeins of yarn and put them in my own little advent calendar, and then every day I just take a yarn out and do something with it. And I'm like, why am I buying yarn when I have so much of it? For 24 days in December, because that's usually how the advent calendars go. Growing up, you know, you'd have the chocolate ones, but you'd have to get the certain chocolate ones because certain chocolate ones tasted the best and then other ones tasted like plastic. And I didn't like those. So there's always a brand that you had to get. And if you got the wrong one, then you were spent with the whole month with awful chocolate. 24 days in December, I'm going to be making a granny square a day. At the very end, I will have 24 granny squares, which I will then turn into a tote bag. What I'm gonna do is for every single day, I'm gonna roll one of these D&D dice. I don't know what they're called. They probably have a better name than D&D dice, but when I think of these dice, I think of Dungeons and Dragons. And then I think of Stranger Things. Anyways, I bought these dice. These ones right here, I bought these ones a while ago. Probably over a year ago, because I had a plan of doing kind of something similar and then I just never did it. And then I'm like, you know what? These dice will come in handy eventually. And I also bought them because they are like kind of Stranger Things themed. They're kind of like a Stranger Things dice where they have that blue and that red and they're sparkly, and looking inside makes me think of Stranger Things because, you know, I'm obsessed with that. So anyways, my plan is every single day I'm going to roll a dice and it's going to determine what color I use. This video is the introduction video. I'm going to be going through my yarn, writing a list of everything to prepare for the month because December is happening soon, which I can't believe it's already December. Also, I'm really close to being done that temperature blanket because I need to start something new. If you're a Patreon, then you know how much I have been behind and stressed out about this temperature blanket. Anyways, not talking about the temperature blanket. Not even thinking about it, even though I am behind in November already. I haven't done the last, what, 3-4 weeks of November? I did the first week and then I fell behind. Anyways, what my plan is I really just want to use up as much yarn as I can. Even though they're going to be little granny squares, I want to go through the yarn that I already have. I don't want to buy any new yarn for this project. The idea is every day I'm going to roll 2 dice. That is going to determine what color I pick. I have so much yarn, and so I'm going to divide it into 2 sections. One is going to be warm tone colors and the other one is going to be cool tone colors. The first dice I'm going to roll is this one here. It is a 12-sided die, so if I land on a negative number, it is going to be for warm tones. If I land on a positive number, it is going to be for the cool tones. So once I roll this one and it determines if it's going to be a warm tone color or a cool tone color, then I'm going to roll this bad boy, which is a 20-sided die. And each number, 1 to 20, is going to determine what color I pick from either one. I'm going to have 20 different colors of yarn for warm tone and 20 different colors of yarn for cool tone. So in total, I will have 40 different colors to choose from. So that's gonna be fun. I know I have a lot of different types of yarn, but I'm gonna stick with the Michael's Loops and Threads brand just because I have a lot of them. I also really want these colors to be uniform, so I don't want to have a DK weight mixed in with a worsted weight because the square will kind of come out a little weird. The main yarn that I will be using is going to be the Loops and Thread Impeccable. You know I have so much of this yarn, okay? I bought so much of this yarn. I'm like, what do I do with this? This is a worsted medium weight yarn. Got really sunny out. So the reason why I picked this one here, or this brand, is because I have so many different colors with this yarn. I feel like it's probably the best yarn to use. And then I also have this one here, which is Loops and Threads, and it is called Soft Classics, also formerly known as Craft Smart yarn. I have a lot of this Craft Smart Soft Classic yarn, and this yarn is just ever so slightly thicker than this one, so I think it's okay. I'm also going to be dry blocking these granny squares. If you don't know what that is, I will be showing you guys. It's basically, I have a pegboard that I got at like Home Hardware. I cut it in half and I put pegs in it, and then I put my granny squares on top just to like stretch them out just a little bit, so then that way they have a nice perfect square shape, and then that way when you're attaching them all together, they attach nicely. I'm gonna do my best to use as much as possible with this one brand of yarn, and if I don't have enough colors, like if I don't have 20 different colors of this per hue, you know, the warm tone or the cool tone, then I will be using a few of these. That is the plan for the yarn. A little bit about the granny squares, I'm gonna be making them 3 layers. So I don't really wanna make them over exaggerated or really big or anything like that. So that's why I've decided to do 3 layers. First, I'm gonna roll if it's gonna be a warm tone or a cool tone. And then from that, I'm gonna roll what color from that section is it gonna be? And I'm gonna do that 3 times. First one is going to be for the center of the granny square. The second one is gonna be for the middle of the granny square. And the third one is gonna be for the 3rd row of the granny square. I'm going to be documenting myself doing this every single day. Keep myself accountable to do it. So that way I'm not like, oh, I don't want to do it today. No, I'm gonna do it today. And then once a week, this is gonna be a completely separate video than my Saturday videos. Also, I'm posting on Saturdays now. I did put a poll on my Instagram asking, would you guys be okay if I started posting on Saturdays? Just because a lot of my favorite YouTubers that are Canadian, they all post on Saturday mornings. I'm like, I want to be just like them. I just want to post on Saturdays. Also, a lot of times, I know, I don't have to explain myself, but I want to explain myself to you guys. I want to let you know what's going through my head. It's chaos most of the time. A lot of times on Saturdays, that is when local yarn store day happens. That is when a lot of local yarn stores or yarn stores in general have big sales, is on Saturday. When I would post on Sundays, Saturdays would be a big editing day for me. Now, I'll be able to have Saturdays off to go to these places, but also start new projects for the next week. So I really like the idea of just having a full weekend, like a Saturday, Sunday, where I don't have to edit, I don't have to worry about putting a video out. The video is just already out at 10 a.m. same time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If anything, you guys are just gonna get the video a day early. You know, if you guys still like watching my videos on Sundays, you can still watch it on Sunday. It's still gonna be available on Sunday, but it's also going to be available on Saturday mornings now. I love the idea of like, you know, Saturday morning cartoons. So it's like, you know, just as fun as that, I hope. But anyways, that's my little spiel about me now uploading on Saturdays. If you are new to my channel and you like crocheting, the 80s, Stranger Things, chaos, why not hit that subscribe button? Anyways, back to what I was trying to say. This advent calendar kind of video will not be a Saturday video. It will be its own separate video sometime during the week for like the previous week. So maybe like a Monday or a Tuesday every week, I will be posting an update from the previous week of my squares, the colors that I picked, and how it's going. I also really like this idea because everybody can do it at home. It's not me buying an advent calendar, which I wish I would have, but it's fine. And like just doing whatever I want to do, and then you guys might feel a little left out. Whereas this, if you guys have extra yarn at home in your yarn stash, whatever, you guys can do this as well. You don't have to have D&D dice. I think I spent like maybe 20 bucks on these from like Etsy like a while ago. You can just use regular dice. Like this one here actually did come with a regular dice, right? And you don't have to have 20 colors. You also don't even need to have dice if you don't have them. It'd be really cool if you had like one of those board games that had like the wheel where you could spin it. Like I think Life has that, and then like that could also tell you what color to use of day. You could also just get a piece of paper and write down all the colors, or write down a number per color, put them in a bag, and draw them out every day. If you guys do want to participate at home, like let me know your progress. I want to make a hashtag, you know, and then that way everybody can like link it or like use the hashtag, and then everybody can see their progress. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. So I'm gonna put a hashtag right here. So if you guys wanna do it at home and you wanna put your progress like on wherever you want to post it and you want to use the hashtag, that way everybody else can like kind of be involved. I want to do like a community kind of thing because I don't really do that for my channel, but I love the idea. So this is basically the intro. I'm going to be picking out my yarn. I'm going to be numbering all the yarn, giving them all a corresponding number to go with the die. So what I'm going to be doing is this here is a giant brick, I want to call it, of paper that I think I got at Michael's 10 years ago. And I never used it for anything. It was just kind of sitting there. It was a novelty item. I'm pretty sure I paid probably $2. I think it was in their clearance section. And so what I'm going to do with every color, I'm going to write down the number. Then I'm going to take an elastic around the yarn. And then on a separate piece of paper, like a sheet of paper, I'm gonna write down number 1 of the cool tones is this color all the way down to 20. And then that way when I roll the dice, I'm not gonna memorize these colors. So when I roll the dice, correspond it to the piece of paper, and then that piece of paper is going to tell me which color to use. Here's the thing, when it comes to a duplicating number, I'm going to re-roll. I don't want any of the colors to be the same per square. If 2 squares are the same, then 2 squares are the same. But I will re-roll if it's the same color in the same square. So let's go and start sorting through my yarn and finding 40 different colors. Alrighty, so now it is time to go through all the yarn and pick out 20 colors. And then I gotta label all the colors and assign them all a little ticket, which is just like a little square piece of paper. And that way when I roll the dice, I'll remember which one it is. Because here's the thing, there's like colors like this. And they may look exactly the same on camera, and they kind of look the same to me at this very moment. This one here is called Cherry, and this one's also called Cherry. This is why I'm always mentioning dye lots. These colors are 2 different colors, and yet they are the same color. I didn't think I'd start this part doing this, but yeah, here I am. They are both cherry. They are both loops and threads. This one here was made in 2021, and this one here was made in 2023. That is 2 years difference, and the colors are ever so slightly different. Let's go through the warm tone box first, and then we'll go through the cool tones. Let's just get this one out of the way. I'm not gonna go with this one, so I'm just gonna put it here so I don't accidentally get it again. And then I'm gonna go with this one here, which is Cherry. These are all, I'm pretty sure, loops and threads. They're either loops and threads or they're the Bernat Super yarn. Like I said, I got a lot of yarn and I wanna find something to do with them all, and that's why I think this is like a great project for that. This one here, which I think I am gonna use, I'm gonna put them back here so I know the difference. This one here, which was from my last project, the Stranger Things. I might even just talk about what these yarns were from. Like, I almost know what every single one of these yarns was made into. And so that's kind of neat, using like past projects for a current project, you know? This one here, this one is called Arbor Rose, and I'm not 100% sure what this came from. If I remember the color, I'll say what it was from. I have this yellow here. This one I believe is called Sunny Day, and I used this yarn. I don't know if it was specifically this one, but I remember when I first made my very first cardigan that I ever made, which was the sunflower one. This is what I used for these sunflowers. Then I got this one here, which is also yellow, but it's more of a pastel yellow. Then I have this color here, which is like a burgundy color, and this is the color that I made this is actually the same yarn that I made my car sweater out of. This one I believe is called Lippy. The only reason I know it is because I use this one a lot, but this one I believe I used for my checkered orange. Remember how intense that was? It was the orange and this color pink checkered sweater. This pink one was my rose granny square sweater. That was a doozy. That, oh my goodness, I can't believe I made that. That's where I like made my own granny square because I didn't really like any of the rose and flower patterns that they had out there, so I just made my own. This is the color that I used. I think it's called Rose or Soft Rose or Pastel Rose or something rose. Let's do this bright orange. This bright orange might have been the orange that I actually used. I think this was called Orange Crush. So this was probably the orange that I used with this one here. And then I have this here, which is a red. It's different. This one is a red. It's different than this red. This is cherry red. This is red. They kind of look the same, but in person they are different. Unlike the other one. I also have this one here. This one is pumpkin orange. I do want to go with this antique white just because it is my favorite yarn, and I feel like if I'm doing this project, I should have like all my favorite yarns. So I'm gonna put this antique white one in. I also have this color here, which is different than the other 3 pinks. These are all 3 different colors. Even though they might not look like it, they are all 3 different colors. I have this yellow. It's brighter than that one, and it's brighter than that one. So I think I'm gonna go with this yellow here. This is the Bernat. So everything else in here is just pretty much not the same brand, this one, but I already have an orange that looks like this, and then everything else is just whites, browns, and duplicates of colors that I already have. Now I do like this one. I think this one is Heather and I really like this color. I don't know. This one's also kind of boring. Here I am like being like, am I gonna use it? Am I not? And I might not even roll the number, okay? There's no guarantee that all these colors are gonna get used, right? Because it's just the roll of the dice and we'll see what happens. All right, I got the other bin. So let's go through this. I really like these two colors, which I also made a checkered vest out of. The less intense checkered vest I made out of these ones. So I think I'm gonna use these. So that would be 17, 18. I also really love this color here, 19. If I have to pick one more color, let's figure this out. All right, so there is this red, but I already have a red, so I think I'm good with the red I have. And then I have these two colors. I love this orange. This orange is the perfect colored orange. It is literally right between pumpkin and orange crush. This I absolutely love. So yes, that is 20. I got all my warm tones for 20. Now it's time to do the cool tones. 20 cool tones. So I think I'm just gonna put this to the side because if I have the same, not problem, but if I come into the same predicament where I don't have enough blues and greens and purple colors, I can just go from that tone. This color here, which is called Aqua. I think this one's really pretty. I actually did use this one for like one little light bulb in my last video. The Stranger Things was supposed to be a tote bag and then it turned into a pillow video. This one actually just joined my collection the other day because I went to an estate sale and the lady had a lot of yarn and I looked into my future. But I saw this color, I'm like, I don't have this color, and it was going for like $1 a skein. You know this brand, it's Impeccable brand. This is $7 now. I got this for $1, brand new. I feel really bad because the lady wasn't able to use it for any projects. Also at the time, the lady also had this color too, and I feel like she was gonna make something with these, so maybe in honor of her, I'll make something with it because she did have this one, but I didn't pick it up because I had just bought it the week before. But these are really pretty. She had like a really good eye for colors, so maybe I'll do something with them. This one here was actually for that clown bag, that circus bag that I used. This was the blue I used for that. I have this one here, which I want to say I used for some type of Halloween spooky thing, maybe? No, it wasn't. It was the Jack-o'-melon bag. This color here, which I did go out and buy last week for my project because I really liked it. It's also really pretty, so, you know. You might be like, Michelle, you got a lot of yarn. Yeah, that's just why I'm doing this project, to use up some of that yarn. I have this green here, which is a very, very dark green. And then I have this bright green, which I also think I used for the watermelon, the jack-o'-melon. I do want to point out that before I really got into YouTube and stuff like that, I was crocheting and stuff. I was making things, and sometimes if yarn went on sale, I bought it. I think this is remnants from it because I don't remember why I bought this. Oh, I have this blue, but it's pretty. Maybe I made something for my mom with it because she really likes that color. That would make sense. Okay, I have this blue here, which I don't know where it came from. Also, at one point, my sister had a bunch of yarn and she's like, I don't want it anymore. And so then I just put it with all my things. Okay, I have these two blues. I kind of like how vibrant this is compared to this one. So we'll go with this one. I have this green here, which is guacamole. I originally had bought it for that half and half green jack-o'-lantern sweater, but I don't know if it was from that project, but I really love that green. Like, that was the first time I saw this green, and then I've been obsessed with it ever since. I have these two greens, but I think I'm gonna go with this one. I have this bright green, and if I'm going with that bright orange and I'm going with that bright yellow, I want a bright green to go with this. I have this pastel blue that could work. Yeah, and the rest are just grays, blacks, and colors that I've already pulled out. I'm just going through that bucket I just had. Okay, so we have aqua color, which is different from this aqua color, so that's 17. I got this light blue, which is different than the light blues that I have, so that's 18. Purple, which is different than the other purples I have, which will be 19. And now I just need one more color. All right, we're gonna go with this one, which is the Soft Classic. So this is the new version of Craft Smart. So we're gonna go with this, and that's 20. So this is a different dark blue than this one. The reason why I haven't incorporated black into this, like I've incorporated white into the warm tones, technically with the black yarn with the cool tone colors, but got this idea where every square will have a black border on it so that way they all connect together. That's the yarn. I think the next step is to sit down and write down all the colors and give them all a number, and then that way when I can start working on this project, which is in a few days, this Sunday, let's go sit down and assign a number to all this yarn now. All right, so warm tones. This one here, number 1. Color is called Burgundy 1. This is what it's gonna look like. I have the little piece of paper. It says 1, it has elastic on it. Color it looks like, and then the color that it's actually named. And then I'm gonna throw it back into my yarn stash. 2, it's just red. Now I'm just going to fill the rest out, and when it's all filled out, I'll catch back up with y'all and we'll go from there.
20 minutes later.
These are the 2 dice that I'm actually going to be using. This dice here, the smaller dice, goes up to 12, and this one is going to determine if it's going to be a warm tone or a cool tone. If it is a negative number, it is going to be a warm tone, and if it is a positive number, it's going to be a cool tone. Whatever number it lands on will correspond to the color on my little color chart here. So whatever number it lands on will be the number that I pick from this list, again, depending if it is a warm tone or a cool tone, because it's like 1 through 20 for warm and 1 through 20 for cool tone. So let's do a little, I'm not gonna crochet, but I'm just gonna show you like what the colors would look like. First, we're gonna roll if it is going to be warm or cool tone. It is an 11, negative number, so we are going to be doing warm tone. Okay, so let's roll this one. It is a 4, so then we go over to this list here. 4, it's a coral pink. All right, so we got coral pink. Now we're going to roll for the middle color. So again, I'm gonna roll to see if it is a cool tone or a warm tone. It is a 10, which means it's going to be a cool tone color. This one here is going to tell me what number I'm going to roll from the cool tones. It is an 11, so that's going to be aqua. Let me go get that. This color here, which I don't know if I should even have this color in just because of how there's not a lot left in it, and I want to make sure there's enough. I might switch this color up because I don't think this is going to be enough. Like, what if I get aqua every single day? This is not going to be enough to do aqua every single day. And now we're going to roll for the last row. Is it going to be a warm or cool tone? It is going to be another cool tone color. Number 14. 14 is neon green. This would technically be the colors of, say, day 1 if it was day 1. Here would be the center color. This would be the middle color, and this one here would be the outer color. And then I will be going around each square with a row of black. So yeah, that is how I'm going to find what colors I'm gonna do every single day. So the yarn has been picked out, the yarn has been labeled, the yarn has been written down. Everything is good to go for December the 1st when I can start making these squares. I've decided this as of right now, like right now, that the last row, again, I'm gonna make it black so they all kind of like, they're all different, but they're all connected somehow. For the last row, I wanna do it in black yarn. I also wanna do a technique that I've never done before, and hopefully Stephanie and Julia can help me out at the Creative Knitter because I don't know how to do it. It's called join as you go, and I gotta figure out how to do it. They always do it, so they'll let me know how to do it. That's what I need to figure out, and that's what I need to start working on. But yeah, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. And I don't know if I'm gonna do, I think I might do the join as you go at the very end of the month. Like it says, you have to join them as you go. So I think it'd be better if I had, or even I could do it halfway through the month, like when I have the 12 done, because I'm gonna do them in order. I could do one panel halfway through the month, or you know, like on the 12th, and then I can do the other half at the end of the month. Again, I really like this idea because I feel like as long as you have some yarn at home, you can join in too without having to buy anything or buying new yarn or anything like that, because it's just using up your yarn stash. And I know a lot of people do projects about like stash busting and going through their yarn, and I just never really had a project that I wanted to do like that. But I feel like this is the project. This is the project where I can go through the yarn I already have and make something new. That being said, I think that does it for this video, so y'all have a good day now.